Okay, so welcome back to yet another YouTube video. So last week I made a video where I shared how I was going to achieve 10,000 euros in a month this year, and my plan, or my plan how to achieve that goal is by starting a cold calling business, so fractional cold calling, where I'm offering cold calling as a service, and that's what I started last week. Now, this week, there wasn't much of movement, just because some things on operational side took a lot longer due to me not knowing, due to some tech setup that's been kind of slow from my part to adapt and things of that nature. But that's normal per se. Uh, but a thing that's been kind of in the back of my mind that whole time was just like I'm going into a unfamiliar space, and basically I don't want to say I was scared or I was afraid of or whatever, just because I didn't start dialing for myself yet. But just the fact that I made an announcement and it was public, and basically now I can fail and it will be publicly available. So, like, there were some things playing in my head, uh, questioning myself, and things of that nature. And basically, I didn't know what to do. And in my free time, I just decided that I have also a plan to, or a goal to read 50 books this year. And let me just pick up the next book in my TBR and let's just go through it. Hopefully, I will get something and learn something new, or maybe come back to some conclusions that I had and just kind of maybe make things a little easier on myself. And actually, a book that I was reading after his other book was How to Win Friends and Influence People. The other book was How to Stop Worrying and Start Living Your Life. So after that, I picked this book up, and basically, it's a great book. Uh, nothing, nothing to take out of this book other than this. So basically, you have a principle, and it's principle 12 in section, in a nutshell, win people to your way of thinking. And principle 12 just says throw down a challenge. Uh, and there is a quote, and there is my writing for a few years back. Uh, Not sure, yeah, you can see it. And I just wrote like challenge yourself every day, it's you versus you. So it was just like a really good reminder uh, that what I'm starting is basically that, like, I'm starting something new, I never did it, and it's going to be me versus me. Like, I know I can cold call, I just have to prove it by acquiring clients, and it's not a rocket science, it's really easy. Uh, when you break it down, like what I have to do, I just have to get a list, get a dialer that's working, and start dialing for myself. And eventually, I will get clients. That's it. But there was like all of these other things that were in my head and things of that nature. But yeah, this How to Influence and Influence People, really great book. It helped. And then I came to this book, and it's actually Four Agreements. It's in Croatian, in my native language, just because it was really cheap, like somewhere around 10 euros in a local store in my hometown. And I was like, like, let me just buy it. It might be good to read this book. And basically, lessons from it, like the four agreements that have are be impeccable with your own word. Uh, that's the first one. Second one is don't take anything personally, don't make any assumptions, and always do your best. And I really love how it's personal development slash spiritual book. There is some spirituality, I would say, aspect to it, and basically, like, it, when you look at it like that way, so I can talk about each of these agreements for maybe like a day or two, but like always do your best is maybe the one that was most needed for me. Uh, Again, like I just need to always do my best, and good things will come out of it, and that's the way it is. Like there is no way around it, and the only way that I can maybe achieve success faster if I want to is just by doing more volume, because I know I can achieve this goal, and the only way to achieve it faster is by doing more work. Because then, like, in shorter amount of time, I'm just pulling success closer, if that makes sense. Because success is somewhere down the line on that timeline. By me doing work, I'm just moving towards it. And if I'm doing more work in less time, then I'm just pulling it closer to me. And if you're always doing your best, like good things will happen, definitely. And then third book actually is the Almanac of Naval Ravikant. I did read some of it for like the first part, which is wealth, but I mainly read this book, and it's really crazy how I set up my TBR for this year, how kind of things aligned. Um, it was my idea to reread this book, definitely, and when I was like in that kind of confused, not knowing what to do mental space, that second part, happiness, was definitely what I was looking into. And some of Naval's mental models are really good. So I have some notes just to kind of like things that I'm taking, basically no notes needed. Things that I'm taking from this book, like right now, is that we are all going to die, and it's Memento Mori, and it's from this guy. So I'll definitely start reading this today after I'm finished recording this video. Uh, so we are all going to die. Just be yourself, because this is who I am, uh, or maybe not who I am, but this is who I want to be, and I want to become that person, and I'm just gonna act as that person, and then I'm just gonna become that person, and whole way I'm just gonna be myself. I'm gonna be authentic, and I'm gonna try to share as much as possible, as much wins or losses or whatever. And third one, which is huge, just from that happiness part, is that everything can be learned, even happiness. So things that I'm afraid right now, like that I'm unfamiliar, like starting a business, getting clients, making invoices, things of that nature. Like I don't know how to do those things, and it's probably not that hard. But in a moment when you think about like thousand things that you don't know how to do, you're like overwhelmed. But everything can be learned, and I will learn it just because I want to succeed. And if happiness can be learned from his wisdom, his advice, his philosophy of life, then definitely I can learn this aspect uh, of business and making money. But one other thing that I realized once I read like those two books is that I have a lot of practical books like for sales. For example, this is the next book that I'm starting when it comes to getting some knowledge in sales and in persuasion. And it's Never Split the Difference. Again, the book is in Croatian, but it is Never Split the Difference from Chris Voss. Uh, and one thing that I kind of like is the idea of like reading multiple books at once. But for example, like some practical sales, persuasion, marketing, whatever book, and then having like some mind, uh, philosophy, psychology, altering book. Uh, so hopefully it will be a good duo and I will learn a lot of things. But yeah, next week I am starting to dial for myself. Just wanted to share the kind of a mental space I was in, but now it's all good. Hopefully everything will be set up and I will start to make dials for myself and start getting clients. That's it. So hope you enjoyed. If you love what you hear and would love to follow this journey, then hit subscribe button. But other than that, hope that I see you in the next one. Peace.